Hello, and welcome to Essential Alchemy. Alchemy is defined as the power or process that changes or transforms something in a mysterious or impressive way. My hope is that the information in this podcast can help you transform your mood, your energy, physical health, or even connect some dots to help you shift your mental or emotional state. I'm your host, Jodi Cohen, a best-selling author, award-winning journalist, functional practitioner, lifelong learner, and founder of Vibrant Blue Oils, a company that sells proprietary blends of high-quality organic or wild-crafted essential oil remedies designed to help you return to your ideal mental, physical, and emotional state. You can find out more about me and my company at vibrantblueoils.com. And with that, let's get started with today's episode. Hello, I'm your host, Jodi Cohen, and I'm so excited to be joined by my friend Caroline Allen, a health survival and mineral enthusiast. On her own journey to health, Caroline found mineral replenishment to be a foundational element that is widely misunderstood. I completely agree. Her research into why minerals are important in human physiology and how they work in the body has taken her into a broad field of study, including microbiology, molecular biology, cellular biology, quantum physics, agricultural soil science, and the study of plant decomposition and glyphosate toxicity. Huge issue. As a result of her research, Carolyn has become committed to helping people understand how and why mineral depletion affects the body, the systemic nature of glyphosate exposure, and specifically how plant-based humic and fulvic minerals can support healing and optimal health. Carolyn is the co-founder and CEO of Beam Minerals, which provides plant-based humic and fulvic mineral supplements for people, pets, and plants. Carolyn is also an engaging speaker and a regular contributor to podcasts and health-focused events and programs around the world. And I'm so excited to have you here today to talk about all of these issues. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Jodi.
Yeah, no, glyphosate is huge and minerals are huge. So I'm just going to ask you, how do minerals affect our health?
Well, the way I like to help frame this for people, it's so important for them to kind of understand, because most people, when they think about minerals, they think about the aisle at the Walgreens where you see the bottles of calcium and potassium and magnesium, or maybe they take, different electrolyte powder supplements, or, their doctor told them that maybe they need to take zinc or different things like that. These are all minerals. Electrolytes are also minerals, but nobody most people that I speak to don't really understand minerals and why they're so important and what they mean to me as a human being. So
Yes,
the way I
they're
like
the spark plugs. They give us energy.
exactly. And the reason that they give us energy is your entire body is made of cells. You have actually around uh, the low side of an adult human is 37 trillion cells. So 37 to 150 trillion cells. And inside your cells are these energy generating units called the mitochondria. And the mitochondria need two things to fuel their energy generating processes. One is minerals, and the other is amino acids. Those two things. So, in fact, what I actually really want people to get is, like, if you took all the water out of your body, took all of the water out of your body, you'd be a little pile of minerals. In fact, look around your room. Everything is made of minerals. Everything that has substantial structure is made of minerals. So the issue that we're dealing with is that our food supply is quite depleted of minerals, and that's because it's grown. Most of the foods that we eat are grown, even the meats are grown using grains that are depleted of minerals. Because think about a plant. When a plant grows in the earth, what does it do to create the structure of the plant? It sucks the minerals out of the soil. So when you continually grow plants in soil, after a while that soil becomes mineral depleted. And
Right.
then
That's why you do crop rotation to let it heal.
exactly. And the problem is, it's one thing to get things like, humus, and like when you do crop rotation, some of
Yeah.
that gets back into the soil, but to create something that's really effective for mineral replenishment, like these humic and fulvic minerals, it takes hundreds of years.
Right. Right. And adding these toxic substances like Roundup and glyphosate, I mean, it not only depletes it, it causes another problem.
Exactly. And that's the other big issue. But so what you have to remember is that most of us are operating so in addition to also eating mineral depleted foods, we're also drinking filtered and bottled water, which has no minerals. So I don't know if when you were a kid, if you did any sports, you didn't have no, your friends weren't having like cramping, right?
No,
But
of
now
course not.
kids regularly come off the soccer fields, the young athletes, they're all dealing with major cramping issues, and all cramping in the body is mineral deficiency, all of it. So, and that's because we're so mineral depleted. In fact, the experts say that we're all operating at about 40% of the minerals that we need. And that's if you eat really well. 40%. So just imagine a light in your room and now dim it down to about 40%. And that's how your entire body is operating. Just think of that.
You
Yourself.
mentioned, and that's if you eat really well. Can a person get all the minerals they need from eating well?
You cannot. You
Okay.
cannot get all the minerals that you need nowadays. And that's for a lot of reasons. Partly, back when we were foraging, all those plants, they weren't grown. They were the soil
Wild.
was full of this humic and fulvic,
Hmm.
and with minerals, and also used to eat dirt. All the
Yeah.
foods that we eat are well washed, and all of that is taken off them. So, and plus nowadays you wouldn't really want to eat the dirt because it's got glyphosates on it. So you need to wash your vegetables really well. So
Yeah.
yeah, so you cannot, this is really important for people to understand. You cannot get enough minerals and electrolytes from the foods you eat. So
What? Yeah. And I love, one of the concerns I have is that the glyphosate causes leaky gut. So even if you're taking mineral supplements, it's not necessarily getting digested, absorbed, and assimilated, which is why I love your topical products. I think that that's actually the best way to assimilate minerals. Can you speak a little bit about B minerals and how they differ from other mineral supplements?
most people think about minerals as what I call megadose minerals. They're minerals that are measured in milligrams, and they usually come in a capsule or a pill or a powdered form. And one of the things that people don't realize is that most of those minerals are made from rocks, shells, bones, and some salts. Now, your body actually assimilates salts pretty well, but there is another issue with salts, which is that we are not saltwater beings. And using salts on a regular basis for electrolyte replenishment is irritating to the bladder and kidney. And it works, it exacerbates your hydration issues. So it's one thing if you have like heat stroke, you should take
Right.
some salt immediately. Okay. If
Right.
you are really in deep electrolyte balance, you're about to pass out, salt is a good way to come back quickly,
Right.
but not on a regular basis. So there's this big movement about using salts and do it yourself salt solutions for electrolyte replenishment. It's actually not good for your body. How do you actually feel in your stomach when you drink salt water? It actually makes you queasy. It's not actually a good thing for our human gut. So now think about the rocks, shells, and bones. Think about the human gut. How well does your gut break down those things, digest them? Not very well, right? So here's
Right.
the thing about humic and fulvic. Humic and fulvic are plant based, they're made from plants. They are the result of ancient decomposed plant matter. Your body is a set of cells that evolved on this earth. And like all other cellular systems across the earth, your system is evolved to utilize humic and fulvic as the mineral delivery and full system detoxification tools. These are, I call them Mother Earth's technology for mineral replenishment and full system detox.
No, I completely agree. And obviously, I'm a huge fan of plants and how they're biofamiliar with humans. Can you talk a little bit? Like, I'm really curious, how do you derive the minerals from the plants? What's the process?
Yeah, so first, so imagine where our minerals come from is imagine an entire rainforest back when the dinosaurs lived, like millions of years ago. And over millennia, those rainforests decomposed into this mineral rich substance. It's about 10 to 12 feet below the earth. It's black and it's incredibly mineral rich, incredibly mineral rich. And we take that material, it's a crystalline substance, and we use a proprietary process that uses no chemicals and it extracts these two molecules. One is called fulvic and the other is called humic, and we extract them from the crystalline substance. And the way that we do it is the beautiful thing about it is that the liquid that results tastes like water. So it's extremely easy to consume, and your body knows exactly what to do with it, which is just a really awesome thing.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I feel like the body knows how to heal when you like give it the right tools. So talk a little bit about kind of how how you recommend people use your products, what products you offer so
Yeah.
that people.
Yeah. So we have kind of two, I'm going to call two flagship products for taking internally. And one of so we have these sprays that are great. One is we have Instalites, which is I think back here. This is our Instalites product. And this is a fulvic spray.
I love that
And
one.
I'm going to talk to you about what fulvic. And then we have a couple of other, one is called Happy Lights.
Yes, that
And
one's great,
we love
honestly,
that.
for an instant mood boost.
Yeah, and then Boo Boo Lights. This is incredible for any scrape or it's incredible for bug bites. It works incredibly well on things like poison ivy, poison oak.
Oh, I
And
don't have that one. I think everyone
yeah,
needs that for their camping kit.
exactly. And then this is Respirlight. So it's great for opening the sinuses and when you're dealing with any kind of respiratory issues. So,
Would
and
Respirite be good for pre-exercise, like if you're about to go run to just kind of help or?
I would probably use Instalights in that
Okay.
way. Um, yeah, I'd probably use Instalights. But we can talk more into how performance athletes use our products because they're incredibly effective for performance athletes. And I'm not sure how much time we have. But
Yeah.
the main thing about our products is the products that you ingest, the way I describe those is those are for the chronic depletion.
Yes.
So when you ingest them, they build up over time and replenish the body's mineral stores so that you can turn that dimmer on that light up, from
Right. And the fact that they're liquid, I think they assimilate more easily than food that you have to break down.
they totally do. Well, the beautiful thing about our liquid products is that when you drink them, they require zero digestion, absolutely no
Yeah,
digestion because
that's the
they're
key.
completely ionized. So that ionized means dissolved down to the chemical components. They're dissolved and then they're suspended in water. So you never have to shake the bottle because they're always completely suspended. When you drink them, by the time they hit your stomach, some portion of them has been absorbed into your bloodstream and some portion is already being utilized by your cells. And
Right. They're
that is
completely
unprecedented.
bioavailable. Can you just show on the camera what those ones are, please?
Yeah, so this is the Electrolyze product. And
Okay.
this one is the fulvic product. And I'm going to talk to you about what the difference is.
Okay.
And this is called Micro Boost, and this is the humic product.
Okay, great.
So yeah, and they're separated for specific reasons. So let me give you a quick overview on fulvic and humic because they're
Thank you.
amazing.
Okay,
So
great.
I'll talk about fulvic first. Fulvic is a molecule. It's much smaller than a cell, and it's an intercellular transporter. It carries 60 times its weight of nutrients into the cell, and then it does what no other molecule on Earth does. It changes polarity. And when it does that, all the nutrients, mineral content, etc., fall off inside the cell. Now it's available to the mitochondria for energy generation. Then it grabs biowaste, toxins, free radicals, heavy metals, and carries those out of the cell. Now, one of the things about the cell wall is the cell wall usually for things to cross the cell wall barrier usually requires certain receptors. The fulvic, because we're evolved to utilize it, it gets a free pass through the cell wall. Any channel that opens in the cell wall, the fulvic goes straight through, both directions, in and out. So it greatly enhances nutrient uptake into the cell and intercellular detoxification. So it is like the powerhouse of nutrient uptake and intercellular detox.
And my friend Sinclair Keneally, basically, she talks about how it's really hard to detoxify when you're depleted. And she actually has you add in energy boosting remedies like before you start any detoxification process, because imagine if your car is less, on a quarter tank of gas, you're not going to be able to make that cross country trip. Like you really need to regenerate before you move forward. So I love that.
And in fact, we work with a lot of detox practitioners who use fulvic in that way. They use our Electrolyze. They get their patients starting on the Electrolyze for a while, maybe 2 weeks, to energize their system and start that intercellular detox. And then they'll use the Micro Boost with their other detox protocols to remove those things fully from the body. So let's talk about the humic molecule and how it works, because it's completely different than the fulvic. It has some really amazing capacities. The first one that I'm going to talk about, because it relates to the nutrient uptake, is it interacts. It's a much larger molecule. It hangs out in the bloodstream. It's much larger than a cell, and it's extremely sticky because of it's a strong electrolyte, which is actually a technical term, and it also has a huge amount of surface area. So because of that surface area, it binds with free radicals. It chelates with heavy metals. It's an extremely effective heavy metal chelator. It gathers bio waste, and it also remediates glyphosate in the system. One of the things that it does is it actually grabs the glyphosate. The glyphosate clings to it, and then it builds a film around that glyphosate and starts breaking it down. As soon as it has that film around it, it no longer has the glyphosate no longer has its negative effects in your gut. So it's, in fact,
Wow.
I was just on a panel conversation at a conference just a couple weeks ago talking about glyphosate and remediation of glyphosate, and everyone on the panel agreed that humic and fulvic are the most effective components for remediating and removing glyphosate. So let's talk about that molecule. So you have this humic molecule. It's chelated with heavy metals. It's bound with free radicals. It's gathered bio waste. It's got some glyphosate molecules attached to it, and it's breaking those down. At a certain point, that molecule gets so heavy, it falls out of solution and leaves your body through all of the elimination channels. Now, with detoxification, mostly we talk about needing to have elimination channels open. As you said, first having the energy to do the detox, and second of all, having those elimination channels open. The beautiful thing about humic is that it doesn't require your specific elimination channels to be open, because it uses every elimination channel. So a lot of time with detox, we talk about needing to have the liver cleared so you can do detox, etc. But the cool thing about humic is it uses every channel. It uses your tears. It uses your breath, your snot. It uses rubbing your hands together, your sweat. It uses your urine and feces, of course. So, and whatever channel is open and available, it will use.
That's
So,
fascinating. So do you
yeah.
recommend people buy both products and use them as kind of a 1-2 punch? Like how do you suggest people kind of, if the people that are listening are like, I need that. Where do they start? What do they do?
So the two products together, Electrolyze and Micro Boost, we call it the advanced replenishment set,
Okay.
because the fulvic gives your body the energy and and enhances the nutrient uptake and that intercellular detox. And the humic, the Micro Boost, does the full system gentle detoxification constantly. They
Do you
both
use them at the
together
same
provide.
time? Or do
So
you phase, would you phase one then the other, or can you combine them?
it really depends on the person. So,
Right.
um, for most people, and I'm gonna say that's like 99.99% of the people, you just take them together, you take half a cup of each and you're done. You can take them together, you can take them on an empty stomach, they don't break a fast, they won't bother your stomach. So that's it. For the other 1.001% or 0.01% of the people who have autoimmune, who are very, very sensitive, they tend to have what are called Herxheimer's symptoms, which are reactions to detoxification. For them, they would start with the electrolyze for 10 days, 2 weeks, and then they would start with the humic in a very small way, maybe. And the directions are on the bottle, and we have them on our website. So the idea is to just give your body some energy, and then to begin that gentle detox, full system detox.
And it's just a half a cap a day, just once a day?
Yeah.
How
So
long
one
do
and a
those
half
bottles
pounds,
last?
that two together, those last 2 months.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So that's a 2 month supply for one person. So
Okay.
those are for chronic depletion. And we
Right.
have to remember that
Which
all
which
cramp,
is most of us.
yeah, and if you're young and you have menstrual cramps, that's
Right.
mineral depletion. I have so many women who use our minerals and then stop having cramping.
Yes.
So the sprays are for acute mineral depletion. So let's say you have a cramp, let's say menstrual cramps. So many women use this Instalight spray for menstrual cramps. You just spray it on your abdomen, spray it on your back. We were just at a show. A woman came, oh, she's like, really? Oh, I just started my period. We sprayed it on. She came back 5 minutes later. 5 minutes. She's like, I can't believe that it worked.
Yeah. And can we talk, because so many people are struggling with anxiety, about your happy spray,
Mhm,
which I love. I think it's great.
mhm.
I think every kid send your kid to college with this. It will help them.
I'm
Oh,
telling you.
yeah.
What I say about Happy Lights is Happy Lights, it's a lighthearted product with serious effects. So I have dealt with anxiety in my life. I've, was a single mother for a period. There's it's just life comes at you, and there's, especially now, there is so much anxiety, which is also a result of glyphosate exposure and toxicity, by the way. Um, it really
Wait, what?
increases.
I
Yeah,
I'm gonna totally make you delve deeper into that.
yeah.
Glyphosate impacts our mood and creates anxiety. Say more, please.
So one of the things that glyphosate does is it inhibits the creation in your body of certain amino acids, and specifically ones that are absolutely needed for the development of endorphins and the kinds and serotonin. So when you have a serotonin imbalance, you end up with anxiety and depression. So many people are experiencing depression and anxiety because they're dealing with glyphosate toxicity. I would highly recommend anyone who's listening, if you have depression or anxiety, that you go to find a practitioner who will get you tested for glyphosate toxicity.
Wow. That
And then,
mind blown. Like, drop
yes,
the mic.
I
That's
could
amazing.
I could geek out with anyone who's interested. If you contact our info at beamminerals.com, you can set up a call with me to talk more. If you want to geek out more about that, I can explain all the science behind that.
We might have to do a second session and geek out about that. That is unbelievable. Okay, so for the purposes of time, for the people that are listening that obviously probably want to geek out, but are also like, tell me about how the happy spray can help with that.
So the way the Happy Lights works is it's the fulvic. So remember, the fulvic is this very, very small molecule. It's much smaller than a cell. So when you spray it on, and literally this is how you use it. You just spray it and you breathe it in. Now what's happening is several things. One, it's going into your sinuses and you're getting an electrolyte replenishment directly through the face, your skin of your face, and through your sinuses, that which are very permeable anyway. So that's the first lift that you get, is just a
Yes,
quick
that's why I think essential oils work. I completely agree with that.
yes. The next thing is it has bergamot, and they call bergamot nature's Prozac. So, as you well know, because you're an essential oil person, your olfactory system is connected with your lower brainstem. And where are neurotransmitters in your body released or triggered? In your lower brainstem. So, and what is depression or anxiety? It is a wash of neurotransmitters in your body. It's a specific set of neurotransmitters that are flooding your body. Now, the amazing thing is you can change that wash in 3 seconds: one 1,000, two 1,000, three 1,000. And all you have to do is spray the spray. You breathe it in. The bergamot goes through your sniffer, your nose. It
Yep.
hits your olfactory system, which hits your brainstem, and it triggers the release of serotonin.
I love that. So we have the acute,
Endorphin.
you're having a panic attack, you
Yes.
spray it to calm down. And then also for the chronic, you buy the 1-2 punch and kind of address the underlying issues. These are amazing. Can you share more about how people can find your products, learn more about you?
Yes. So you can go to beamminerals.com. We also have Instagram. You can just look up Beam Minerals on Instagram, and just come and check us out. I think that we might have a discount code for you.
Oh,
Because
I hope you do. I was going to ask for that. We will put
that's
one in the link below. And
yeah.
is there anything that we didn't talk about that you'd like to share?
I think the main thing that I want to leave people with is, if there is one thing, there's one thing, just one thing that you can do for your body that will have the most effect. It is replenishing minerals, full spectrum of minerals in an effective way. It is the tool that your body needs to gain and maintain healthy, happy, loving balance.
I completely agree 100% because if you don't have the energy to heal, it makes it a lot harder. This was amazing. Thank you so much for your time and your wisdom.
Thank you so much, Jodi. I really appreciate you having me.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope this podcast empowered you with some useful information and takeaways. If you liked this episode, please consider sharing a positive review or subscribing. I would also love to offer you my free parasympathetic toolkit as a gift just for listening. It will teach you how to activate the most important nerve in your body to turn on your ability to heal. This free toolkit includes a checklist, a video, and a detailed guide. If this podcast prompted any questions, you can always find answers at my blog at vibrantblueoils.com or my book, Essential Oils to Boost the Brain and Heal the Body. Until next time, wishing you vibrant health.